This is the plaintiff, Laura Valley. She says the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, owes her money she loaned him for things like rent and utilities. She ended up breaking up with him because the guy has big dreams but never delivers on them. Bottom line, she wants her money returned. The defendant refuses and she's suing for the $2,320 she's owed. This is the defendant, Chad Edward Olson. He says the plaintiff cheated on him, and she's the one who broke up with him. Funny how she thinks she's owed money because if anyone's out, it's him. And he's not gonna let her get away with suing him without a fight. He's accused of running away from an ex. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $480, the price of a couch she owes him for.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says her ex owes her for rent and utilities. She says he's a dreamer and a deadbeat, but the defendant says she cheated on him. It's the case of, I got nothing but gas from you.
Thank you, Douglas. Laura Valley, you are suing your former boyfriend, Chad Edward Olson, for $2,320. You say he owes you and refuses to repay. You have a counterclaim against her for $480 towards a couch that you paid that you say she took during the breakup and shouldn't have. All right, what's going on?
So we were together for about 2.5 years, during which we lived together for a little over 2 years, or almost 2 years, and I had to help out with paying rent often, and he promised to pay me back, which he didn't. And then we took a trip to California together.
Okay, hold on. About the rent, when was it that you had to pay rent?
It was March 2014, May 2014, and June 2014.
When you say you had to pay rent, you mean you had to pay his portion of rent?
Yes.
And why couldn't he come up with rent for, according to you, for March, May, and June?
Because he was running a business where he wasn't making the money that he was expecting to, and then he ended up actually getting a DUI and not being able to work because his work required driving, and he refused to get a job within walking distance. So he had next to zero income for 6 months while his driver's license was suspended.
All right. Did she pay March, May, and June of 2014 your portion of the rent?
Yes.
Okay. And did you say that you would pay her back?
Yes.
And did you pay her back?
No, Your Honor.
What's your defense?
When we broke up, it was on just dishonest terms. I ended up having to foot the bill for our current lease for January and February of 2015.
Meaning you had to pay her part?
Yes.
Okay. You guys broke up, why?
At the time, it just felt like it was time to break up. We had
No, that's not what you said. Tell the truth. Why did you guys break up? Because you thought she was cheating on you.
Yeah, I found that out later, Your Honor.
Did you find out? Oh, so why did you break up who broke up? She did or you did?
It was pretty mutual, more
I
her.
did.
It was more
Okay,
her.
so
And I never cheated on him, ever.
So you dumped him, why?
Because the commitment and the following through and the money, and it was just becoming too stressful, and I wasn't agreeing with what he was spending his little money on, where he wasn't paying for life first, he was paying for like personal development stuff, which is great.
Like what?
But he signed up for a personal coaching that cost $11,000 a year instead of paying rent and utilities and groceries and paying me back and paying for, new clothes and the other things that are important for living.
Where did you get the idea she was cheating on you as opposed to that she
It's
just
on her
didn't believe in
Facebook,
you?
Your Honor.
What did you see?
I didn't see this until June, and I was paying her back just normally. Like I didn't have any problem.
What did you see in
with it.
June that made you think that back in December or November she was cheating on you? Yeah, I'm done to see it. But tell me about it.
I just looked at her Facebook for the first time in 6 months, and her relationship status with her new boyfriend was while we were still living together.
That's not true.
It's right there.
It says in a relationship since December 12th. But when was it that you guys broke up?
We went on a trip together, and I got back December 5th or 7th or something like that from California, where he went to Vegas afterwards, and he came home after.
Vegas? He hadn't paid you back? He went to, okay.
Yes. And then I broke up with him the night that he got back, and I left, or either that or the
and
morning
then you
after.
met this other guy right away?
No, we've been working together. We were really close friends, and then it just turned into something more, but...
Like in 72 hours? Okay. Whatever. But she's,
Yes,
she's entitled to do what she wants. Stop. Everybody stop.
Your Honor.
Okay, but how does that mean that you don't have to pay her back?
So even if she cheated on him, can he not pay rent?
That is not an excuse to not pay rent. Personal relationship.
What about utilities? going inside the courtroom.
Let's talk about what you have to pay her back, because I
Yes.
understand that there's a dispute.
Right.
All right. So now she moves out in December. When do you move out?
March.
And when you move out, let's talk about what the landlord said had to be tallied up. What did the landlord say?
I have no idea. I never really got a chance to talk to him.
I have it all right here.
Why would you not have a chance to talk to your landlord?
Because she just called, and one day just called and said, hey, what's it going to take? And he said $895, so she paid it.
But why,
That's
but why
not-
don't you?
that's actually not true.
Excuse me.
Yeah, sorry.
Why don't you just? I mean, it's your situation. Why aren't you in control of your situation where you live? Why is she the one calling?
That's a good
This-
question, Your Honor.
Well, no. Why? I'm asking it of you. Why didn't you pick up a phone and speak to your landlord? That's not something she can
I didn't
answer.
take- I did
I
not
think that
take-
what happened is in that 2.5 years, that was the dynamic. She fixed your problems. She fixed your problems. She fixed your problems. And then finally, she got tired of it.
Yep.
Whose fault is that? I mean, you knew who he was the whole time. You know, but why does she still have to fix your problems? You should be talking to your landlord and negotiating, saying, what's it going to take? You know? All right. When you left, you were current, right?
What is that?
When you left, you didn't know any rent yourself.
Oh, no, I
Okay.
didn't.
All right. Now, if you have an obligation, because you signed a lease, to finish up paying, I find that you have that obligation. So January, February, and March are months that you should have paid. So you got, I hate to use this phrase, but it makes it easier to explain. You got away with not paying January, February, and March. That's on his side of the ledger, because you are on the lease and you're supposed to pay it or get out of the lease or do something. You can't leave him holding that. That $550 times 3 is $1,650.
So does that count even if we like verbally agreed and the management knew and our landlord knew that it was just a verbal agreement that I wasn't going to pay for that? I understand what you're saying because
Yeah.
I know I'm still legally attached to it, and that's why I paid for it.
When she left,
Yes.
was there a verbal agreement
Absolutely.
that she would not have to pay for that?
Yes, Your Honor. And like I said, if there,
but
if
now
there was,
now
yes.
you're angry.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you can't
It's
change
not- it's not an anger-
She's
it's not
right.
an anger
If you
thing.
have a, normally speaking, that
Your
would be the
Honor.
case. But if you have an agreement with somebody, then they're acting based on your agreement. Then no, you
Your
can't
Honor,
change the agreement.
But the agreement between Laura and I was to be honest and faithful with each other.
Okay.
And she broke a commitment, so why should I have to uphold my end of the other commitment?
Gotcha. Okay. So now let's talk about your countersuit. You have a countersuit against her for $480 because, according to you, you made the payments every month on the couch.
Yes.
All right. And what say you on that?
I say that I picked it out, I paid for it, I financed it under my name.
Yeah, but you didn't
agreement-
make the payments every month, did you?
No, I did.
We split it.
Every single
We
month?
split
Oh,
it.
every split it?
No, we didn't. I got one payment from him, and that's it. Like, I wasn't even getting
How much were the
utility-
payments?
They were $90 a month.
And what were you paying?
I always gave her that in the electric bill, like all the utility bills. It was just included in that.
And you,
I'd like to see proof of that if he
Well,
has.
gosh,
I
because
obviously
you-
don't have. I obviously don't have proof. On
Why,
That.
Yeah.
why does it have to be obviously? Because we're talking about you, so it has to be obviously?
Yeah.
Why?
Your Honor, I really.
But you
I
know,
never,
the two of you so far have disagreed on very little. So it's
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised at this, because this is something that you should spot. Like one of you has to be lying to me, because this is something that's pretty obvious. Was he or wasn't he paying part of the couch bill?
He was not, and he wasn't paying utilities or for groceries or for any other expenses that
At
we
all.
had to pay.
So
No.
for 2.5
And he
years.
says, well, he says he was giving you cash. He wasn't giving you any cash?
2.5 years, I didn't pay for anything.
Say-
No, that's not true. He did pay for a little bit when we first started out, and it was fine. And then nothing ever came to fruition. So that's why, we ended it, and that's why I was done paying for it. But with my
Okay.
name on it, I just don't want that to.
All right. Based on the
affect
proof
anything.
that's in front of me, I'm kind of hearing no defense now that all is said and done. I'm going to order you to pay the $2,320. And as for your counterclaim against her for the couch, you would have to show me that you, in fact, did something other than pay for that one payment, which you say he paid for. So I'm reducing your recovery by how much was that one payment?
$45.
Okay. Minus $45. Okay, so your recovery on this case is going to be $2,275 based on all the things that you folks agreed upon during the course of your relationship. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Let's see what the defendant has to say about that coming out of the courtroom on the losing end of the judge's gavel.
I'm glad it's over. That's it.
What did you see in her when it was going well?
Oh, I love that girl to death.
You still do?
Not in the same way.
All right, right around the corner this way. Were you listening to him?
A little bit.
You hear what he said about still having feelings for you?
I don't care. He's irresponsible. I don't care.
When it was going well, you obviously felt differently. What'd you see in him?
I liked how aspirational he was, and it seemed like he had a lot of drive, but no follow through in the end.
Harvey?
Okay, this gentleman hit it on the nose. That fault in a relationship has absolutely no bearing on repaying loans.